Okay, good afternoon. We would like to call this regular meeting on 5/12/2025 to order. Ms. Greer, could you please call the roll?
Clark.
Here.
Copeland. Here. Alvin.
Here.
Madison.
Here.
Scott. Perryman Tanks.
Here.
And Tyler.
Here. Take it to
Okay, the agenda was provided prior to today's meeting, and materials were also provided. Without objection, we'll pass a motion to approve the agenda by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, the agenda is, wait a minute. Where are we at on time for individuals running late?
We don't need them, it was just for Q&A if we had any questions.
So we're okay?
Yeah, we're good. It's
Okay.
just the annual
All right,
forum.
so the agenda is hereby approved. We'll go to item number 3, consent agenda. 3 items on the consent agenda this evening. Any issues with any of those? Okay, hearing none, without objection, we'll pass a motion to approve the consent agenda by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, the consent agenda is hereby approved. We'll go to our item number 4, which is presentations for Students of the Month, Mr. Abdullah.
Thank you, President Alvin. Welcome, everyone. So, just to expedite the process, we're going to start with the little ones with Lessinger. We do ask that family accompany the student when the student is called, so we could take some pictures. If you do object to pictures, just kind of signal me, because I do post them on Facebook and we reshare them on Instagram. Director North.
Hello. Excuse me, all. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Student of the Month ceremony. I'm so thankful everyone can make it. Good evening, Cabinet. Good evening to our board. Thank you for having me. I'm going to kick us off with Lessinger. And this evening, we will start with our 2 Lessinger Rebels, who have exhibited the traits of Lessinger Early Childhood Center: resilient, empowered, brilliant, ethical, loving, and self-assured. Our first Lessinger Rebel to receive this honor tonight is Miss Eden Hamilton. Come on up, Eden. I have her teacher, Miss Bryan. Miss Bryan. Oh, God. Miss Bryan, I'm saying. Ms. Bryan is here to speak to Eden's character and Eden in class and the reason she was nominated.
Well, what can I say about Miss Eden? She's a joy to have in class. She's always greet you with a smile. She's very ambitious. She's get everything right. Anything you ask her, she's willing to do. And she's just a lovely young lady, and from a very nice family also.
Here are your gifts. I'll give it to you. My dad give it. All right, we're going to come over here and get a picture really quickly. Everybody. We're going to face Superintendent Abdul Hard, and he's going to grab a picture. Oh.
And then Dad, if you could just, yeah.
Get off with mine.
One,
That's my.
2, 3. All right.
Thank you. Okay, for our second Student of the Month, we have a lovely young lady who, again, is in Ms. Bryan's class, and she's going to speak to this young lady as well, and that's Ms. Layla Fielder. Ms. Layla Fielder, can you come up here, please?
Okay, Layla is such a joy. She's very sensitive, and but she's a perfectionist. She wants to get everything right, and she wants to finish every task she starts. She's such a joy, and always just a kind young lady, and she also comes from a loving and good family. And I love to have her in our class.
Oh, you want to get? I know. Get a picture. Get a picture up here.
Come on, sweetie.
Anyone else?
Come on, Mom. Come on, Dad and Mom.
Can you see?
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bryant.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you to my Lessinger Rebels. We love you and we are so very proud of you. I'm going to introduce my esteemed colleague, the principal of Key Elementary, Miss Principal Demila Prince. Please come on up.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Ms. North. I am excited to introduce our first student of the month for Key Elementary, and that is Ms. Cameron Wilson. Cameron, come on up. Cameron is a wonderful second grade student who stands out, truly stands out in class. As student of the month, she shows what it means to be an exceptional learner. Cameron is always kind and respectful to her classmates and teachers. She loves to learn and asks thoughtful questions that show how curious she is. She's responsible and hardworking. Cameron gives her best effort in everything she does. What makes her extra special is how she's always ready to help her friends, showing that she cares about others as much as she cares about her own learning. Can we please give it up for Ms. Cameron Wilson, second grader, Key Student of the Month. This is for you, Cameron. And friends.
Anyone else?
And our next Key Falcon Student of the Month, I am going to call her teacher up, Miss Keel, and she will give you some wonderful words. So come on, Miss Keel. And Miss Keel is going to introduce Miss Brooklyn Roundtree. Come on up, Brooklyn. And family. Brooklyn and family.
Good evening, everybody. Good to see everyone here. This is a surprise to her. We didn't even tell her that this was happening, so she didn't even know why she was coming. But this is Brooklyn Roundtree, who I am honored to present. I am so proud of her this year. She has made so many great leaps and bounds and accomplishments this year. She is my shy baby. She's still my shy baby. However, she has blossomed this year, and she is proving herself to be an individual. She's got a twin who I had last year. So there's a lot of comparing between the two, but she has made her mark as an individual. So I'm very proud of her. She's a teacher's dream. She is well behaved, she's focused, she's making significant growth every day. She follows the social contract on a daily basis and has been my behavior ambassador this entire year. So her behavior is stellar. Sometimes I forget she's there because she's so quiet, and she does exactly what she's supposed to do. She has been a pleasure to watch, and she's grown tremendously this year. So I am so very proud of her. Come on, big brother.
Anyone else? Ready?
Awesome job to our key Falcons, Brooklyn and Cameron. And next, I would like to introduce Miss Sarah West Provenzolo from Einstein Elementary.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Provenzolo. I'm the proud principal at Einstein Elementary School, where we shine. And I'm going to call up Mr. Jeffries. He nominated our 2 students of the month for Einstein. And who would you like to call up first? Okay. Samia Hashim. I was going to say it wrong. So come on up, honey bun.
Can we say her name one more time?
Samia Hashim. All right. Hi there. So, Samia is one of the most respectful students I've had in recent years. Her politeness and patience does not go unnoticed. She tries very hard with her academics and truly cares about her education. She loves reading. Throughout the morning, we break up the day and have snack time, break time. While most of the class is playing games, doing whatever, she'll be reading most of the time. I don't know how she does it because it's quite noisy during that time, but she does it. I can rely on her to do the right thing, even when others around her choose to do otherwise. Samia is a great example of an honorable and great student, and the best part is, she exhibits these outstanding behaviors effortlessly. I am honored and grateful to have Samia as a student, so thank you so much.
Anyone else? Ready? And next up I have Kalia Williams. All right. Kalia is a force to be reckoned with, let me tell you. She continues to display leadership qualities in and out of the classroom. She's one of the few girls that is on the 5th grade basketball team. Not only that, she loves to compete athletically in gym and at recess. I remind her all the time, let them boys know who's in charge. And Kalia certainly holds her own. Academically speaking, she completes all her work and does so with great care and responsibility. And Kalia is an ideal student and great all-around human, and I love having her in class. And I appreciate you guys raising her so beautifully. Thank you. I always want to say this, I yield my time. I don't apply, but okay.
Next, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Emmanuel Haley, principal at Pepper Elementary School.
Good evening, everyone. I will now present Pepper third grade teacher supreme, Miss Jennifer Matthews, who will be presenting our students of the month.
Good afternoon. First, I'd like to call up Nevaeh McDaniel. Nevaeh is a hard-working young lady. She likes to get all of her work done. She doesn't stop until she gets it right. Even if she has to sit right next to me, she's not stopping until she gets everything done and everything correct. She's a stellar student. I love having her in class. This is my first year at Pepper. She has truly made this year an awesome year. So glad I got to meet her.
Ready?
Thank you. Next up, we have my lunch partner, Hudson Oliver. She's a very sweet young lady. She really, truly cares about learning. She's a great classroom leader. She's always willing to help me, the students. Anything that you call for, she's my greeter, she's my ambassador. She has truly made this year a special year. I'm so glad I got to meet her this year.
There you go. Yeah, you got it. There you go.
I now present to you my friend and colleague, Mr. Douglas Island, the principal of the Oak Park Preparatory Academy.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Doug Island, and I am the very proud principal of Oak Park Prep. And today, I have the privilege of bringing two of our awesome 7th grade students to be celebrated. Our first student, Naya Bales. All right, so Naya, teachers had this to say about her, that she was selected for Student of the Month because she is a flexible learner who adapts extremely quickly and smoothly to change and any challenges that may come her way. She approaches everything with a positive and versatile attitude that her teachers believe allows her to thrive in the classroom. She is a true joy to have in class, and we know that she will go far in life. Keep up the great work. Swag bag. Hold on 1 second. Make it work. All right. Appreciate it. Our next recipient, Mr. Joshua Bell.
and Joshua's teachers had this to say about him. Joshua was selected for the Student of the Month because he shows incredible motivation and always tries to put his best effort into assignments. This is not only respectable, but also inspirational to others. His continued commitment to education leads his teachers to believe that he'll experience great academic success no matter where he goes. Keep up the great work. Right? Here we go, brother, sister. You want to hold that for your brother? Perfect. That's great. Get it all out here. Get it all out here.
Anything else?
Yeah, we got all kind of swag in the bag. Josh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, next up is our awesome and wonderful and beautiful principal of Oak Park High School, Ms. Renita Williams.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Renita Williams, and I am the principal at Oak Park High School. And I will be presenting 3 scholars to you this evening. So I'm going to try to be a little fast, but I do want to just give our scholars, our high school scholars, their recognition because they are very well deserving. The first scholar that I want to present to you is Lance Mullins. So if you notice, Lance is very well decorated, and this is not even all of it, okay? So Lance was nominated by the Oak Park High School administration. He has demonstrated exemplary academic performance, character, behavior, effort, social responsibility, and attendance. Most recently, he was honored by the Oak Park High School Honors Recognition and Award Ceremony for academic participation in AP World History, Academic Performance and Financial Literacy. Additionally, Lance was honored for being on the honor roll with a cumulative grade point average of a 3.26, and he is a member of the National Honor Society. Lance is described as being nice, kind, helpful, smart, dedicated to his academics, and making his mother very, very proud. After graduating on June 1st, Lance is slated to attend Grand Valley State University, where he intends to study business administration or finance to continue his personal business. He has a lawn care service that he is currently running. His long-term goal is, again, to be able to navigate the world of business in a way that he is literate and understands how to navigate that world. He enjoys sports, particularly basketball. You'll find him as a power forward or small forward. It is with great pleasure that the Oak Park High School administration recognizes and presents our senior scholar, Lance Mullen, as one of our recipients for the month of March. And this is his beautiful mom. And grandmother.
Just next to you. Come on, you can stand right here.
Wait.
So my second scholar of the month is Kayla Henry. Kayla isn't here, but I'm going to just tell you that Kayla is an awesome scholar as well. She is also a senior at Oak Park High School, scheduled to graduate in June. She was nominated by her ELA teacher, Mr. Staley. And Mr. Staley states that Kayla is a very hard-working young lady, and she accepts constructive criticism, isn't afraid of a challenge at all. Kayla has demonstrated exemplary attendance, performance, character, behavior, effort, social responsibility, as well as attendance. Most recently, she was honored at Oak Park High School for being on the principal's honor roll, which means she's a top 10 graduate of the class of 2025 with a cumulative GPA of 3.96. She was honored for academic performance in her CASA courses, honored for academic performance in financial literacy, and honored for her participation in the Oak Park Marching Legion. It is with great pleasure that the Oak Park High School administration recognizes Kayla Henry as another Scholar of the Month for May. And my final honoree for the night is Gerald Wilborn. He is class of 2026. Hi, Gerald. Gerald was nominated by his world language teacher, Mrs. Avila Walker. According to Mrs. Avila Walker, Gerald is a role model and a positive influence on his peers, encouraging academic excellence and positive learning behaviors for his peers. She states that it has been a true pleasure to have Gerald in her classroom, and he will definitely go far in life. During Gerald's 10th grade year, he was the recipient of the Wade McCree Scholarship, which grants him a full ride to Oakland University, which he has decided he will attend after graduating in 2026, unless the school offers him more money. Gerald attended Einstein and OPA. His mother also attended Oak Park High School. His dad attended Roosevelt, and his younger brother also attends Oak Park High School. His family lives a legacy of Oak Park. Gerald is a middle and high school math tutor. However, he is able to provide additional support in other subjects for a small fee. It is with great pleasure that the Oak Park High School administration recognizes our Junior Scholar of the Month, Gerald Wilborn. And next we will hear from the principal of Nova, Mr. Derek Falk.
Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Derek Falk, and I am the principal of Nova Academy. And tonight we have two of our fine students that we want to recognize. But unfortunately, Sydney Cook could not make it because she was ill. But we still want to let you know what Sydney is doing in the classroom, why she is so important. So I'm having her online instructor come up and talk about it. Come on.
Good evening. Good evening. Sydney Cook, thank you. I'm thrilled to recognize Sydney Cook as our Student of the Month for the online community at Nova. Since joining the program a few months ago, Sydney had jumped in with determination and drive and never missed a beat. From day one, she has remained on top of her assignments, constantly demonstrating responsibility, respect, and a strong desire to succeed. With that, we were able to nominate Sydney Cook as Student of the Month for the female.
Mr. Edwards, come on up. Here's Mr. Marquise Edwards.
We are proud to recognize Marquise Edwards as our 12th grade student of the month at Nova. Marquise has constantly demonstrated maturity, focus, and dedication throughout his senior year. His respect, attitude towards peers and staff stands out and contributes positively to our school community. Marquise is a goal-driven man with a strong vision for his future. He plans to move to Houston after graduation and pursue a trade in either HVAC or plumbing. With his determined mindset and strong work ethic, we are confident that he will achieve his goals and build a successful life for himself. Congratulations, Marquise. Your hard work and character truly shines. Job well done.
You got the wrong plaque.
Bam, any family.
No.
Family day by itself. Here we go. Thank you. With that, President Elvin.
That concludes our Student of the Month presentations. We seem like we still have a full crowd. You're more than welcome to stay with us if you like, or I'll give 2 minutes for those who want to go ahead and go home without spending the rest of the evening with us, which we would love to have you, but I certainly understand if you don't want to. So at 6:35, we'll keep going. 2 minutes. Oakland County Youth Assistance, and we have Karen Beeler, if I said that right.
Yes, you did.
Okay, thank you. Praise Jesus, because I don't want to get anybody's name wrong. Okay, caseworker OCYA to present to us this evening. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm not gonna take a lot of your time, I know you're very busy. So I am Karen Beeler, I am the caseworker with Oak Park Youth Assistance, and there was a PowerPoint made and sent, I don't know if you guys got it, but it's fine, we're just gonna go through really quickly some of the things that we do. First of all, I just wanna say it's a tri-partnership, so Oakland County Youth Assistance was started back in the 1950s in Hazel Park with a judge who had a lot of youth coming before him and decided we need to do something to prevent them from coming into the juvenile justice system. So it started out that way as kind of diversion, prevention really, to try to keep kids out of that system. And I worked on the other side, I've worked at Children's Village, so I know not a lot of good comes out of that. So I love what I do. So the tri-partnership is the county, which provides me as the caseworker. The school, you guys are a partner, and you guys offer us and give us in-kind office space that we have and a lot of the office materials. And the city is the other partner, and they donate funds. And also there is a 501c3 board of volunteers that work together to try to come up with programs for the youth in this particular community. So each municipality or school district in Oakland County has a youth assistance office. So it goes by the school district you belong to, that determines which office you go to. So we do have a small section of Royal Oak Township in Southfield that's part of Oak Park, so those students will come to us as well. So who we are, we just explained that, the Volunteer Board of Volunteers, which we have a few of them, a couple here. We have Cheryl, who is our vice chair, our former chair. We have Kim Hampton, and we have Leslie Ritchie over here. Pam Strakowski is my supervisor from the main office up in Oakland County. So our mission is to strengthen youth and families to reduce the incidence of delinquency, abuse, and neglect through community involvement. And that's the key part. What I try to do, regardless of who is referred to me, I try to get to the root of the problem, but then I try to figure out what it is they want to do and find something in the community that would lend to that. So we try to prevent these things from happening, prevent delinquency, prevent neglect and abuse. So, like I said, it was originally started in 1953 in Hazel Park, but Oak Park Youth Assistance, you'll find some of the packets I gave you, some of the historical documents, was founded in 1983. So that's when it was founded here in Oak Park. So what I do, some of the casework services are, we are family focused, so I get the whole family, not just the child. I try to get the whole family involved. It's confidential, it's voluntary, and I try to make it accessible. It's short-term also. So what I do is short-term counseling. We try to have funds to get kids into skill-building activities, whether that's a tutor, whether that's boxing, whether that's sewing classes. I've had kids say they want to sew. Those types of things, find what they're interested in and get them plugged into it. And we also refer out for more long-term intensive therapy if that is needed. So we also have funds for, limited funds for emergency needs. I've had kids referred for truancy, and the underlying issue was their water wasn't on. So we tried to help them get their water on. Their car wasn't working. We've assisted in getting cars fixed and those types of things. So those are some of the things we do. So some of the things that we have come up with recently are programs to try to get youth, boost their self-esteem, give them help where they need it. We had Making It, we call it Making It, and it's different things. The first one was Making It Look Good, where during homecoming we got people to volunteer to come do hair, makeup, haircuts for the boys, nails. It was all for free. We fed them while they were there. The kids seemed to really love that. Just this past week they started Making It Sound Good, where some sound engineers we got a grant, and they are at a reduced rate taking kids, teaching them the engineering, the back end of the music industry. They'll get studio time to be able to record, if they want to rap, if they want to sing, and they're mentoring them. They got some of the Detroit Lions that they're friends with that are going to come, and they're feeding them. We have police officers escorting them there. The bus takes them there and brings them back. So that, to me, is a wonderful program for them to be able to gain skills. They get a certificate when it's over, and it's all free for them. So we, like I said, as the board, which I am not a part of, I work with them. They try to find things that will engage the youth to better them, to build their self-esteem and their confidence. So I also do skill building when I meet with them one-on-one. Some kids, I go to the school and try to do activities to build self-esteem, anger management, those types of things. So we have received grants from in the amount of about $5,500, donations for about $7,600. The municipality of Oak Park gives us $5,000. Like I said, the school board would get about $7,000 in kind for the office space and supplies that we have. And so for the caseworker, this is not what I make, but in total, it's like $133,000 that is being donated as far as the partnership from the court. So the judges are over everything, and they love to see each municipality prosper. We love the way we are able to work together with the school, and we're trying to build that that relationship even more. I haven't even been here 2 years, but the relationships that I've built and the things that I've seen happen is just beautiful, the way that this community wraps its arms around the kids and really cares about them. So that being said, are there any questions? If you have questions, my card was the first thing on the list. Then there is a flyer from Oak Park, one from Oakland County, another paper overall telling what we do, and just some historical documents that were there. So it's coming soon. We want to do something like what you did tonight, but like student recognition. Try to recognize, Zandra is trying to head that, to recognize kids that don't always get acknowledged in the community. Whether it's a small incremental change, it doesn't have to be you're the captain of the team or you're the all-A student, and that's fine to recognize, but we want to recognize them for incremental change. So it's a lot of stuff that we're trying to do, fundraise, to get involved in. If anybody that's here is interested in helping us, you can contact me. If you know of somebody who you think would be good to work with us, we do the pancake breakfast every year. Everybody knows about the pancake breakfast. That's a fundraiser for us. And so, yeah, if there are any questions.
Any questions from members of the board? Trustee Corcoran.
Nice to meet you, Ms. Karen.
Thank you.
I actually used to work for Judge Sosnick for the kids' court for over 10 years. And I used to love going to work because I was able to interact with those children. And I'm sure you remember Judge Sosnick. He passed on now. I don't know if you knew him or not. But so he had the kids' court. And the one question that I wanted to ask you is, what is the data in regards to the families that have been utilizing this wonderful program?
I do have a slide. For some reason it wasn't. Is it on? We did do you know what, I thought it was on this particular slide, but I guess not. I did put some data together. I didn't actually make this PowerPoint, someone else did, but I can get that information to you because we do have it. I just don't, was it on me?
So
What?
if I could
No, go on.
speak from, so
This is my supervisor.
Come to
Come to the mic. Oh.
So when we talk about casework,
what's your name, ma'am? I'm sorry.
I'm Pam Strakowski, and I'm with Oakland County Youth Assistance.
Okay.
It's referred to as the county often, but really Oakland County Youth Assistance is a department of the 6th Judicial Circuit Court Family Division. So it's family court that sponsors the office. So I know last year there were 38 families that received direct casework services. Now, here's the thing where it gets difficult to talk about like who's impacted, right? There would have been 38 families that we actually sort of registered and we're keeping track of that data. There are many more families that come through the office that we never, Karen never opens an official case because we don't ever turn families away. But they might, she might refer them out to say, you know what, you really need some mental health treatment. And we don't have psychiatry or we don't have long-term therapy. So instead of opening a case, putting them through the official system, so to speak, Karen will work with the families to get them connected. We don't just give out phone numbers and say, see you later, right? We make sure that those families get connected and are doing well. So there's a number of families that, So all together, she found the number, 157 families have been impacted. But I can't say each one had an open case. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, and then the kids that are in the Making It program, you know, the kids that are doing the Making It Sound Good, the kids that are making it look good. Who's impacted by the pancake breakfast that has had that as a family tradition year after year after year? We don't know how many families are impacted, but I know when I go to that breakfast and I sit down and talk to people, they say, this is part of our family tradition. You know, so it's like all the things, the trick-or-treat trail they do, right? That, you know, anything that's a community-sponsored event, Youth Assistance tries to get involved in that and to provide something to spruce it up or to pass out literature. So I feel like the impact is large, right? But in terms of how many numbers of kids are impacted, sometimes it's hard to measure that.
Okay, any additional questions?
Thank you.
Nothing else? Anything else from members of the board? Okay, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, please work with me here. So we have a member of our board who's also a member of yours, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and she has worked with you all for a little while now, right?
Yes.
Has she, how has she performed?
Oh my God. Above and beyond.
I'm just,
And I'm not even joking. She wanted to do, so youth recognition is an event that is very, youth assistance, not every youth assistance office does the same thing because the idea is it's not one size fits all. It's what does your community need? What kids in Oak Park need is not the same thing that kids in Holly need, right? Might be different resources. But most offices do what's called youth recognition, and Karen mentioned it. And at youth recognition, we look for kids that maybe in the beginning were D students, but now they're B- students, right? Or kids who maybe academics is not their thing, but they're the kindest kids on the playground. Or, you know, they've gone through some adversity in their home life and they've stuck it out. So those are the kids we're looking for to recognize. Miss Sandra did not only say, let's do this, she created an incredible PowerPoint proposal. She's got some skills. Maybe I should not be sharing
I only asked because I'm confused. There's a member of this community that's going to great lengths to disparage her and her work there. So I just want to make sure that that's not the case.
No, sir. No, sir. Yeah, you know, we can't control what people say or people do. But this is a hard-working group of individuals, and I've been here from the start of this board, and I've been very proud. They've done incredible things in the last, since like about, this board kind of got reconstituted about 2017, 18, right? From sort of, they rose up out of the ashes because our old board members had been senior citizens and were not able to get out to drive, and they've really done incredible work.
And just, I see your hand. I just want to finish my question real quick. And then just, I heard you, but just for the record, how much do we give again? In money, what's our monetary contribution?
So, the school district does not provide any funding.
None at all?
Zero.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had that. Okay.
Did you want to offer?
Oh, no. I just wanted to make sure that it was understood for the record.
Right.
That we don't provide any monetary contribution.
Well, we respect the tri-sponsorship that was established back in the 80s. What you do contribute is office space, right? And which means we don't have to pay for that.
Okay.
Right?
Oh,
And
okay.
the whole model of having this tri-sponsorship where the court provides the employee and the district is providing the office space and the city's providing some funding, typically for a part-time secretary, but we don't have that right now. But then your nonprofit board of directors, every dollar that they raise goes directly to kids and families. No overhead, no salaries. This is a very unique model, right? You won't find that at, you know, United Way or any other kind of nonprofit agency because they have overhead.
Understood. So Oak Park Schools gives no monetary contribution, and you think she's a rock star?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Those are my key takeaways.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Trustee Corcoran.
I just wanted to just say a little bit of that you're out of order a little bit,
Not at all.
because.
What rule am I breaking?
I just feel that, you're out of order based on the fact that, it seems as if there's a target, but I get it.
Is there a rule I
I had
broke?
two other questions.
Yes,
for you.
ma'am.
The other question, the two questions that I had was, does the Mentor Plus, I think it's called Mentor Plus,
Mhm.
is it still around?
So Mentors Plus is still active.
I was just reading off the paper.
Yeah, Mentors Plus is active, but right now, we do not have a staff person. And so, although I'm actually working with the current mentors, which is not really my role, but, you know, we're all pitching in, but we're not accepting any new mentors at this particular time.
And the last question is, I know that you all have meetings, like, you know, youth assistants have meetings, how often, meaning the whole,
Like, do you mean the staff,
this,
coordinating counts, like,
because I know the mayor's a part of it, there's, you know, it's a lot of individuals that are a part of the youth assistants, and they have, like, I don't know if it's annually or monthly meetings.
do you mean the board meetings for the board
meetings,
members?
Yes, because,
Yeah,
because
the board members meet monthly.
okay,
And according to the bylaws of the 501c3, that dictates some of those kinds of things. I believe in the Oak Park bylaws, as with most youth assistance office, one person from each sponsorship is, you know, usually serving on the board. So it's Ms. Clark from the school board. The mayor is serving from the city of Oak Park as a sponsor, as are many other people that are on the board.
thank you.
Any additional questions? Okay. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to item 4C, certification 2025 tax levy L4029. It is James Crowley here. Yes,
Mr. Crowley's not here. With your permission, if I can
please,
present this.
go ahead.
The form that you, greetings again, members of the board, superintendent, community, and district staff. My name is Sharice Foster. What you have before you is our annual tax rate request form for our millage. Ultimately, the purpose of this form is, well, first of all, it's required on an annual basis in order for us to receive our state funding and our overall operation and general funding for operations throughout the district. Once approved, what happens is we are to submit this form to several municipalities, including the county, and what they have to do is they're required to pay a portion of our millage back to us. The most important part of this form, you want to always make sure that bottom number, that 18 is there. That shows that we are able to collect on our full millage rate. So you just need the approval to move forward.
Thank you. Questions? Go ahead, Trustee
I
Corcoran.
had a question in regards to, the percentage. Did it increase or decrease for the taxpayers? Was it an increase or a decrease, or how does it affect the taxpayer for the whole part?
I don't have that information, but I'll be honest, I don't totally understand the question.
I was just wondering, does this impact the taxpayer? That was the question. Does it impact the taxpayer?
Can I?
Please.
So the 18 mils is for businesses, yep, so that has not changed. We have not increased taxes on anyone. This is an annual thing that we do, but we've not increased taxes on anyone.
So is this 5 to 10 years, or?
This is the mill, remember when we dropped like almost one?
Yep.
And it's for, I believe we went up to 10, no?
So it's 10 years?
Yeah, so, but actually, I don't want to misspeak either, it's either 5 or 10, but it was for the businesses and the people renting.
Yeah, I just didn't remember if it was 5 or 10, because when Menachem was here, he had asked those
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
What you hear is
If
the
it was
non-homestead
renters.
term.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure I'm on,
But I'm
we
pretty sure I
understand
answered you
same
right,
page.
too.
yeah, and then
That I
Taxes
do understand.
we'll put it, if we misspoke, we'll put it in our
Yeah,
update.
just 5 or 10, I was
Yeah.
wondering.
Gotcha.
We good? You got
Yeah.
additional questions? Okay. other questions from members of the board? Trustee Tyler?
No, sir.
No, okay, I thought you.
No, I'm good on this.
Okay, all right. Come to the part of the meeting, public participation. Come to the part of the meeting where the public has an opportunity to address the board if it so desires. Public participation is one-way communication in which members of the public are asked to address the full board, understanding that board members themselves will not be able to respond. Trustee Perriman Tanks, can you please read the public comment guidelines?
Sure. Because the Oak Park Board of Education values public meetings, not just meetings in public, we welcome public comments on school issues. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner with due process for the dignity and privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. The public comment portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against a school board member or a school district employee that disrupt the order of the meeting and are totally unrelated to the manner in which the member or employee performs his or her duties. Speakers should be aware that if statements violate the rights of others under the law of defamation or invasion of privacy, such as comments may result in legal liability. Most comments can be concisely stated in 3 minutes, and the board respectfully asks that comments remain focused on the topic or issue and not be directed at specific personnel or board members.
Thank you. We have any public comments?
I have
Sorry.
no cards.
No cards.
I have one.
We have two.
Can you
We
get,
have two.
you can bring yours up here too. Yeah, just bring her. Thank you.
I know the person. Ms. Bailey, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, board and guest. My name is Crystal Bailey. I'm community member. I'm a member of the City of Oak Park as well. I'm very familiar with the Board of Youth Assistants for Oak Park, as well as Pam. I'm grateful that the school board has invited you all here to speak, because all the questions that I had was, where is the meeting? Why can't I attend the meeting? I'm a community member. I like to get involved. I've talked to you, Pam. You told me this Oak Park has the strangest situation with youth
Please just
assistants.
address the board.
Okay, that's fine.
The board.
And the strangest youth assistants, and just within the city of Oak Park, and it has been very difficult for me to get involved with with Oak Park youth assistants. But I'm glad that you all are here, and thank you for bringing them so that we could get more information. I wish I had heard the whole presentation, but thank God for the Open Meetings Act that I will be able to watch the recording. I appreciate that, but I also feel that Oak Park School Board should have the opportunity to have 2 opportunities for public comment. This is not my first or second time stating that. And again, I am very thankful that you women are here to address the board and the community for youth assistance. And again, I would like some involvement to help with youth assistance, because the youth is my passion, as well as mental health. And I think, as I mentioned to the board, that the opioid crisis, we can definitely get into the schools and hand out more information about this that's happening with the students, as well as the #1 cause of the kids is going to juvenile, which is retail theft. This I know because I volunteered to take kids on the jail tour, as well as a mentor for the Mentors Plus program that I completed my application for back in 2020 under Julie Stitt. And she's no longer there, as you mentioned, unfortunately, because she was the best that was there. And I've also got mentorship from her as well. So I thank you for my time. Again, my name is Crystal Bailey.
Thank you. Who else do we have?
Kim Williams,
Ms. Williams, the
William Parker,
floor is yours.
Alumni Relations and Recent Events.
Ms. Williams and Mr.
Parker.
Ms. Williams and Mr. Parker.
And Mrs. Parker. Ms. Parker.
Good evening. I'll be speaking on behalf. I'm Dr. Tyler Parker, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
My name is William Parker, class of 99, Oak Park High School.
And my name is Kimberly Williams, class of 2001 at Oak Park High School.
And I am a 2003 graduate of Oak Park High School. Recently, under our founder for Smash Foundation, Single Mothers Are Superheroes, we had the opportunity to have an alumni versus student game, April 26th. Amen. And so we just had some concerns. This will be our 3rd year hosting the event. And just to tell you some things, this is not just an event just to have, okay? Our first year, we gave out an MVP award for the student and a cash prize. Last year, we were not able to be hosted by the district, by the high school. I can't recall as to the reason why. Gym was under construction. That's why they're here. But we also gave a donation to the band who was raising funds for their endeavors. And this year, we had the opportunity to give 2 MVP awards to students, as well as, she's a designer. She gave out a senior prom dress for a senior this year that's a McKinney-Vento student, as well as we donated class of 2026 senior dues, as well as a prom suit for a young man that's a junior for next year. So this is not, thank you. So this is not just, again, an event just to put on. And so the people that were there definitely enjoyed themselves, but we had some concerns because we don't know where we fit in as alumni. We didn't see anyone there. Excuse me. We had 2 teachers there that supported us. No administration. The students weren't even there. The students who this is to help and assist wasn't there because they didn't know about it. And we have been on this train since October. We asked since October and didn't really get any movement until March or April. There was a lack of communication. We had issues, or not issues, but we had concerns about the background check. Some people didn't even know that they weren't allowed to play until they were on the floor. It was very off-putting to be told that at the event that you can't participate because of lack of communication. And then we didn't have to do this the first year. We had people that flew in and was told you have to do a background check, it's $70. We don't know if we'll be able to get back to you because you have to do it in state versus out of state. And I said, wait a minute, there's people that do background checks from out of state that they can send that information up. So this is something we do want to continue to put on, but with all the challenges, volunteer versus visitor versus employee, it's very challenging. And we would love to see it rectified. I don't know if an alumni association is going to be put in place or is talked about or discussed, but we just would like to see more unity with us as alumni to assist our students coming back. So thank you. Again, I'm Dr. Tyler Parker. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other cards?
No, this.
None? Okay. So we'll go to item 6, then superintendent's remarks. Superintendent, go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, I would be remiss if I wouldn't say anything about youth assistants who saved my life as an alumni, as a sibling of 4 other alumni of Oak Park, up through Key, Roosevelt, Oak Park High School. My brother graduated in '99. I'm not sure if you know him. Martin Abdullahad.
Oh yeah, that's my guy.
That's right, graduated in '99. Youth assistant saved my life. I mean, I was a troubled youth. I would just
Not
leave it
you.
at that.
No.
And what they do, I hate to see it politicized because they are a beacon. They are a beacon in the community. And I, for one, thank you. And if they were to ask, I would absolutely give. If they were to ask. They've never asked. But if they were to ask for money, I would love to. But sometimes they just want us to be there at the pancake or things like that. So I want to thank you for that. The other thing I want to say, I have to read, because it's a press release, but I'm going to read it. Oak Park Schools is proud to announce that Einstein Elementary and Lessinger Early Childhood Center have been selected as 2425 Capturing Kids' Hearts National Showcase Schools, a prestigious recognition that honors their unwavering commitment to fostering a positive school culture, strong relationships, and exemplary outcomes for all students. This year, over 2,000 schools applied, and we were one of few selected. The daily efforts of our staff to build positive relationships and an inclusive environment truly represents what it means to be caring and collaborative school community. I'm extremely proud of everyone who made this honor possible. So I want to congratulate Director North and Principal Provenziola for their hard work. And I just want to quote both of them. Here's what Director North said. Being nominated as a Capturing Kids' Heart National Showcase School is such an honor. This year, our team has exemplified what it means to lead with heart by fully embracing the tenets of capturing kids' hearts. We built more than just classrooms. We've cultivated a community grounded in trust, connection, and purpose. Through every greeting, every social contract, every meaningful interaction, we fostered strong relationships amongst colleagues, between staff and students. And with our families, these efforts have not gone unnoticed. Together, we've created a warm, inclusive environment where joy is felt, academic growth is celebrated, and families feel deeply connected. Our Capturing Kids' Hearts culture and climate stands as a testament to our commitment, and she couldn't be any prouder. Provenziola. Principal Provenziola states, being named a National Showcase School is a tremendous honor. It affirms the hard work our staff have done to create a safe and supportive culture where students can truly flourish. The Capturing Kids' Hearts program is woven into the fabric of our school, from classroom activities to staff meetings, ensuring that its principles guide our interactions, decision-making, and overall culture. Through these efforts, we strive to create a community where relationships are prioritized, hearts are captured, and everyone feels valued. This recognition places us among an elite group of schools nationwide that are leading the way in social-emotional learning and relationship-driven education. We remain committed to continuing our work with Capturing Kids' Hearts to foster connected, compassionate, and empowered learners. I, for one, am so grateful that the schools, and if you walk into our schools, you would see it. They talk about it here, about social contracts. You could hear they live up to it, and I'm so humbled just to be part of that. So those are my showcase awards. My reminder is in the month of June we have 2 board meetings, and remember those 2 meetings are for the finance department, where we're closing out the budget and adopting the new budget. So if we could keep those light from request, because finance is taking a big chunk of that meeting.
Thank you, congratulations. We go to the next item, which is action items, and we have item 7A, which is 2nd grade out-of-state field trip to Toledo Zoo. Trustee Corcoran?
Oh, we did.
Go ahead.
Be it resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education approve the request of the 2nd grade students of Einstein Elementary School to attend an out-of-state field trip to the Toledo Zoo, located at 2 Hippo Way, Toledo, Ohio. On Friday, May 16, 2025, students will depart from Einstein Elementary at 8:45 a.m. and return the same day at approximately 2:15 p.m.
Okay, the motion was made by Trustee Corcoran, seconded by Trustee Madison. Any question on the motion?
I have,
Go ahead.
no.
No question? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Clark,
Yes.
Copeland,
Yes.
Elvin,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Perryman Kane,
Yes.
and Tyler.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes with a 7B, 7th grade out-of-state field trip to Toledo Zoo. Trustee Corcoran.
The Office of Teaching and Learning would like to submit this request on behalf,
Start with be it resolved.
oh, wait a minute, hold on. Thank you. Be it resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education approve the request for the 7th grade students of Oak Park Preparatory Academy to attend an out-of-state field trip to the Toledo Zoo, located at 2 Hippo Way, Toledo, Ohio, on Friday, June 6, 2025. Students will depart from Oak Park Preparatory Academy at 8:50 a.m. and return the same day at approximately 2:15.
Motion made by trustee Corcoran, seconded by trustee Tyler. Is there a question on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Tyler,
Yes.
Perryman Kane,
Yes.
Yep, I got one more. I got that one.
Madison,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Alvin,
Yes.
and Copeland.
Yes.
Okay, item 7C, 11th grade out-of-state field trip, Sandusky, Ohio, Oak Park High School.
Is that 11th grade? Okay.
I don't have touchscreen, I ain't
It's
bothered.
okay. Be it resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education approves the request of the 11th grade students of Oak Park High School to attend an out-of-state field trip at Kalahari in Sandusky, Ohio on Friday, June 6, 2025. Transportation will be provided by the First Student Transportation with departure from Oak Park High School at 8 a.m. and return that evening at 9 p.m.
Motion made by trustee Corcoran. Is there a second? Seconded by, why is your name just go away from me like that? Trustee Clark, oh my gosh. Oh, gosh, this is age. I'm sorry, it's age. Seconded by trustee Clark. I'm so embarrassed. Is there a question on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Madison,
Yes.
Oh my
Perryman
God.
Kane,
Yes.
Tyler, Copeland,
Yes.
Alvin,
Yes.
and Clark.
Yes.
Okay, item 7D, 12th grade out-of-state overnight field trip, Gurney, Illinois, Oak Park High School. Trustee Corcoran.
Okay, that one I don't.
Is that on screen still?
It is, but, be it resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education approves the request of the 12th grade class of 2025, students of the Oak Park High School to attend the out-of-state overnight field trip to Six Flags in Geary, Illinois. Under the guidance of instructors Dwayne Harvey, Tawana Washington, and Desiree Fuller. Students will depart from Oak Park High School on Saturday, May 17, 2025 at 4 p.m. and return to Oak Park High School on Sunday, May 18, 2025 at, at 9, that way. At 9, 8, oh, there, at 9 a.m.
Okay, motion made by trustee Corcoran,
Second.
seconded by trustee Perryman Tanks. Is there a question on the motion? Remember her name.
Why is it so short? They're coming right back.
Why is it so short?
They're coming right back.
Good, I'm glad he'll be right back.
Right.
Are there any questions on the motion, other questions? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, call the roll.
Alvin,
Yes.
Tyler, Copeland,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Perryman Kane.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Go to item 7E, support of ISD budget, intermediate school district 2025-26. Trustee Perryman Tanks.
Whereas the Oak Park Board of Education has been presented with the proposed general fund budget of the intermediate school district for review. Now therefore be it resolved that, 1, the Board of Education has received and reviewed the proposed intermediate school district general fund budget in accordance with section 624 of the revised school code as amended, and by the adoption of this resolution expresses its support for the proposed intermediate school district general fund budget. 2, the Secretary of the Board of Education or his or her designee shall forward a copy of this resolution to the intermediate school board or its superintendent no later than June 1. 3, all resolutions insofar as they conflict with this resolution be and the same are hereby rescinded.
Okay, motion made by trustee Perriman James, is there a second? Seconded by trustee Clark. Are there questions on the motion? Yes, I poked fun at myself too. Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Perriman James,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Tyler, Alvin,
Yes.
and Copeland.
Okay. So we're going to 7F. We have Oakland County School Boards Association proposed amendments to bylaws and resolutions. And trustee Clark is going to read those. 7F, A, and B.
Okay. Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education hereby approves the proposed amendments, to the OCSBA bylaws in its entirety as presented in this evening's board book.
Motion made by trustee Clark, is there a second? Seconded by trustee Corcoran. Are there any questions on that motion? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Yes, and I was a yes on the other one as well.
Yeah.
I don't think you.
Alvin,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Perriman James.
Yes.
Okay.
Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education hereby approves the proposed amendments to the previously adopted OCSBA resolutions as presented in the entirety in this evening's board book.
Okay. Motion made by trustee Clark.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Perriman James. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Clark,
Yes.
Copeland,
Yes.
Alvin,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Perriman James,
Yes.
and Tyler.
Okay, that motion passes. We'll go to item 7G. Item 7G notes that in accordance with the board policy requiring 2 readings prior to the adoption of new or revised policies, policy 5002, budget planning and adoption, was presented for its first reading at the April 14, 2025 board meeting. The policy outlines expectations for annual budget adoption, fund balance maintenance, and financial reporting by the superintendent. Following its second reading at the meeting, and with no further revisions recommended, the policy is now presented for formal adoption. Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education hereby adopts new or revised policies, policy 5002, budget planning and adoption. Is there a second on that motion? Motion made by myself, seconded by trustee Clark. Are there any questions on that motion?
I
Trustee
have one
Corcoran.
question. I was just wondering, it's too late now, but I was gonna ask my question in regards to June, being our budget month, why we wouldn't do this, policy in June.
I don't think, I don't think it would, impact us at all, whether it's now, it's just typically, it's just consecutive meetings.
Because we didn't, we do our budgets in June, so
Yeah.
I was just making it fit,
I was just trying to make it so, Dr. Foster had more time to do a presentation, Q&A and all that. The less that I have in there
Oh, I
as
get you.
actions,
So
the more time she has.
So you wanted it to be now, so that way in June she'll just have to.
So she'll
that.
just do her stuff, yeah.
Additional questions? Hearing none, I've been advised that I am derelict in my duty and must read the whole thing. So I'm going to not be lazy and read the whole thing. The board is required to adopt a budget prior to July 1st of each year to be in place for the ensuing school year. The budget is a formalized statement of anticipated revenues and expenditures of the school district and includes all district fund categories that are used to carry out the school district's educational goals and objectives. The budget will be prepared and published in conformity with the most recent applicable governmental accounting standards board, GASB, requirements and will maintain an in-year general fund balance that should not fall below 15% of the preceding year's revenues. The superintendent shall, at an open meeting, provide justification of any budget that reduces the in-year general fund balance. The superintendent is responsible for preparing the budget and its timely presentation to the board. Following adoption of the budget by the board, the superintendent will inform the board quarterly of the budget to actual expenditures and anticipated variances that may occur during budget implementation and recommend any action that may be required to be taken to the board. When in-year fund balance falls below the minimum fund balance, the district will replenish shortages deficiencies within the following time periods. Deficiency resulting in a minimum fund balance of between 13 and 15% shall be replenished over a period not to exceed 1 year. Deficiency resulting in a minimum fund balance between 8 and 13% shall be replenished over a period not to exceed 2 years. Deficiency resulting in a minimum fund balance of less than 8% shall be replenished over a period not to exceed 3 years. Prior to presenting the board with the budget that results in the school district's in-year fund balance falling below the fund balance minimum, that's when you get old knee glasses, or at the board meeting following submission of the school district's audit with a fund balance below the fund balance minimum, the superintendent shall present to the board a plan on how the fund balance will be replenished in a publicly held meeting. Okay, that motion was made by myself and was seconded by Trustee Clark. Are there any additional
I
questions?
have one other question.
Okay.
I do remember asking this question last time, I don't remember the answer. If we were to fall below, where would we ascertain that money from? Where would we get that?
So we're currently at approximately 23%. The state wants all districts to be above 5%. At the point that you're approaching that, you're at risk of needing loans, not making payroll. It's a big deal. So unless something just egregious happens, we're really, really healthy right now. But just to answer your question, 5% is the lowest threshold. At that point, the state gets involved. It can be a state takeover, etc.
Additional questions? None? Ms. Greer?
Herman Tanks,
Yes.
Medicine,
Yes.
Tyler, Copeland,
Yes.
Elvin,
Yes.
and Clark.
Yes.
That motion passes. We're at item 7-8, certification of 2025 tax levy, L4029. We heard about this a little bit earlier. We heard about this at our last meeting. So that said, resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education approves the submission of the L4029 form to the county clerks or equalization department and each township or city clerk. Is there a second on the motion? Motion seconded by Trustee Clark. Any questions on that motion? Hearing none, Ms. Greer.
Tyler,
Yes.
Elvin,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Copeland,
Yes.
Medicine,
Yes.
Herman Tanks.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. We go to item 8A, information items, legal input on background check policy and legal opinion definition. Mr. Abdullah.
Thank you, President Elvin. Based on the direction of the board, we reached out to Miller Johnson, who writes our policies. I asked them to review the meeting just so they could understand the full context of the conversation. Our attorney, Adam Blaylock, sent me this email. I'm going to read it. He did copy President Elvin on it with the revised suggestion right now. There's nothing that we have to do anything, but just it's in that folder that you have. So he said, good afternoon, Angel. Attached for your review are draft revisions to board policies 6012 and 7009. We reviewed the relevant board meeting video and put together what we think are common sense revisions to help alleviate those concerns. Let me know if your thoughts and if you'd like any additional review. I CC'd President Elvin on this as it came up as part of our discussion earlier this week, and I want him to be aware of the proposed changes. So he kind of simplified it because there's some MCLs were all over the place based on that. And so what he highlighted was for 6012, when an individual is on school premise or at school-related activity for purposes of volunteering, including but not limited to interacting with students, policy 7009 volunteers is applicable, and hence the background check is triggered. And so That was his clarity. No individual will be permitted to volunteer if he or she has been convicted of a misdemeanor described in or a felony that is listed offense as defined in MCL and all that. So I just wanted you to know that I did take your direction, did reach out to legal. This was their correspondence to us. And then if you have any other questions, it doesn't have to be right now. If you want to review it and then email, or if you want to discuss it, but that's my report on that matter.
Trustee Corcoran.
It reads in, on the agenda, one second. It says, legal input and legal opinion. Wouldn't that bring the lawyer here for us to ask him questions? Because when I read this, and if it is so that it is enforced as a policy, when did the board approve this?
We haven't. The changes, we haven't.
Okay, so,
Are you talking about the initial policies, or this one here?
so this is for us to, see, that's.
This is Adam's attempt to clarify.
Those are his red
So this
lines.
is incorrect then? I mean,
No,
it's.
It's not in
worded-
place.
This is not. The other
Because I know I
one,
didn't read this the last time.
yeah, the other one was in place, but it created confusion, right?
So,
So this is Adam's attempt to simplify it.
And maybe
that's
I
why
should
read
have,
the
maybe I
email.
should have said something at the beginning. Remember, the board voted to have this policy review. Everybody remembers that, yes? Okay. So they have reviewed, the legal has reviewed it and had, though felt it was fine on its own, made some updates, we call those in the legal profession red lines, that the board can approve or not. But those are to make this a little simpler for understanding.
okay, but I had questions. You know, when we do policy changes, usually the lawyer's here. That's where I'm confused, like, because this is gonna be a policy change, is that what I'm hearing?
It doesn't have to be. This is
Hold on,
more.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
He's saying he's not changing, he said he revised it to make it sound easier, and that's what
Well,
you
you
said.
can't make it sound easy without changing it, I would.
So the
I mean-
request was for review and to look at whether it needs to be updated. And that's what he did. If the board wants an attorney here, then that would be different, if that's what the board wants.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that, okay, so let's go back to policy. Anytime there is any policy changing or updating or explaining layman terms, the lawyer should be here, because no one on this board is a school board attorney, no disrespect.
I'm not a school board, you're right. You said it right.
So I believe that it would be important for the attorney to come and address our questions, please.
Okay. I heard Trustee Corcoran, Trustee Tyler.
Okay, so I thought when we reviewed this and it came over, that once you all spoke to the attorney, I thought he was coming in, our attorney was coming in. That's what the last time I thought. Unless I'm wrong, somebody can correct me.
That was not my understanding. I didn't ask for him to come, nor did I ask for him to not come. So I didn't do either one. So if that
That's
is
what I
the
thought.
will of the board for the attorney to come to provide
Okay.
a verbal discussion on this, we can do that. Or if not, this is, would be considered a first reading, if that's what this is. And we can ask for the attorney to come to the next meeting where we approve it, if that's what the will of the board is.
Point of information, did we vote on the attorney coming?
No.
Or did, okay, so what did we voted just for clarity, right?
We voted to have our policy reviewed to determine whether updates need to be made. And these are the updates that the attorney provided.
So then things were, that's why he should be here, because the old policy, it didn't, like, usually when they even make adjustments, the old policy is attached. This is not even attached to this.
It's
So we make
not,
it look,
But it is, because these are just red lines, so the old policy is there for you, but I understand your point.
But it doesn't say red line, okay.
I understand your point.
Okay.
So, is that the will of the board? Is the rest of the board wants the attorney to be here at the next meeting? Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so, I think that with this is my only concern, definitely for the volunteers. If it's not the will of everyone, but for the volunteers, I think we've just been having a lot of issues with volunteers. As we see here today, we got another alumni group with the same issue that we've been having now for the last, I believe, 6 months to a year. And I think that just for clarity for everyone, just to be on the, I don't know, not to say that everyone's not on the same page, but I think we keep having concerns from our alumni. And I think if we want to be a school to welcoming our alumni group to always come and give back, how is that we're going to adopt something without, I think the attorney telling us, giving us right guidance? That's just me. And so we've just been having a lot of issues with volunteers. I mean, and this is a new group. And I was just, it's the same?
Let's let trustee Tyler finish.
I think it's more or
Let's
less
let
the
trustee
timing of
Tyler
everything.
finish.
I don't
Let
think
us
it's
let
this thing
trustee
having a problem
Tyler
with the
finish her
timing.
comments, please. Thank you. Trustee
That's what
Tyler
she
has the
complained
floor.
about.
Trustee Tyler. You done?
I think I'm pretty good with remembering something. I got, sometime I'm a little, I think I'm pretty good with that.
Well, we
This
see
is
it. We
not-
see I can't, but go ahead.
Okay. I think this is a different group from what we just had. If I'm not mistaken, this is a different group than the group before that came before us.
Okay.
And so it's been two, to my, what I see, it's been two separate entities of alumni coming to give back, and they just been giving, and they, all of them said the same thing.
But
They've been giving,
I'm sorry.
they've been getting the runaround, or not say runaround. They haven't been giving me clarity, because I was at the event with the Smash, and so it wasn't a lot of people, it wasn't a lot of students, but it was a nice event, you know, and they did give back. But I think that our alumni is the base. We got our superintendent that graduated here. Here she is a doctor, and I think that just for them as alumni, we can at least give them that. And I think that's where I'm at with it.
Okay, all right. So, look, to make life much simpler, can we get the attorney here for the next meeting?
So, the meeting was recorded.
I
And
got
I
you.
asked him, and he charged us to review the whole
I know he
meeting.
did. I know he
He
did.
charged us money. And the alumni, I beg to differ, they've been not getting the runaround. We've been over backwards for them, and you have two people here that will attest to this group. We have been over backwards for the SMASH organization.
But that's not what they said
But,
here.
no,
It's not,
But they're not
we're not talking about them. We're
Our
talking about
job-
the policy.
This, understood.
So our job is to ensure that our children that are being educated are protected.
For sure, that's
And
why it was
sometimes,
here.
I see.
sometimes it rubs people the wrong way because they have to follow procedures. Unfortunately, that's how the world works. You have to follow procedures.
And protocol, understood that.
And so.
That's definitely understood.
So, when I asked him to review something that to me was already clear, it was already clear, but we had this hour-and-a-half discussion, and we paid money that was supposed to be for our students, but now we paid it for legal. Now we're asking the same lawyer to come here and bill us for travel time, for this, for that, for something that I'm not confused by it. So who's truly confused by it?
So-
Pat's not confused by it. Derek, who's security director, is not confused by it. Human Resources is not confused by it. So who's really confused by it?
So the bottom line is that doesn't really matter. At this point, in order to move this along, is there a way to get him here?
I would like a vote.
No, excuse me, I'm sorry, that's out of order.
Trustee Perriman Tanks had her hand up first, so I gotta go to her and I'll come
The
to you.
only thing I was saying, I think when she got up there, she was talking about like the timing of everything, not necessarily our policy. That's what I gathered when she got up there and talked about, well, they told us at the last minute, this and that. That's what, to me, has been the problem, period. Not this.
It's the communication.
Yeah, the communication is what's been the problem. So
Okay.
that's what I heard her say. She was like, they told us at the last minute this, and they told us at the last minute that. That's where, if we got to clean that up, we need to clean that up. But I understand the visitor and volunteer thing. I'm confused on, that's what I heard her say. Now, who a volunteer and the visitor, maybe that's what,
That's
we
what's
need
good.
to, they
You
need to be
just said.
explained this part.
That's what you just stated.
But we,
That's what's been our issue,
do they
what you
get
just
this?
stated.
This is
I
the
don't
question.
know.
I don't know if they get this or not.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So
Yes,
they
sir.
can understand this is what, visitors and volunteers, do they get that? So they understand that. Maybe if they get this and we're not just verbally telling them, maybe they need to read it.
It is on our
They
site.
did it. It's
It is.
about-
Yeah. So
yes.
Trustee Corcoran, go ahead.
So the bylaws is what I brought up, which is 60-12 visitors. This Michigan code does not match even what he put into layman terms for us to understand. It doesn't match. I have taken a lot of time with this by visiting the Attorney General office. I have taken a lot of time. This needs to be addressed to the attorney, please. If that attorney or the attorneys that you spoke with took it upon themselves just to look at a video but not hear from the board, they are who we pay. And I don't believe at any point that this should be a money issue. It is a serious issue. And the issue that I believe, that Michigan code does not say that you can do a background check on a visitor. I've been asking that. That's why I want that attorney to come, because we may have questions. You were able to ask him a question. Why can't we? Why can't we ask? It's just a question. It is nothing other than a question.
It's a question?
It's a question to the fact that the Michigan code does not, that ML 381137, it doesn't match, meaning it doesn't say, okay.
I'm looking at the code. Go ahead.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
And this code that I went over even with board attorneys such as MASB board attorney, Mr. Rab Banasic. This code, it doesn't even fit what they're saying, because there is no code that, why are you looking that way? Are you seeing something that I don't see?
Yeah, I'm puzzled because
So
it says.
what are you reading
It
then?
says power of parents and legal guardians, policies or guidelines. That it fits exactly what this is.
No, we're talking about background checks on visitors, not a parent. We're talking about visitors, such as your anyone who's coming in, such as your career fair. You have those individuals. You have the alumni. You have visitors. I don't understand what visitors, volunteers. We're not talking about volunteers. We're talking about visitors who's coming into the school. That's HBCU. That's coming to see a teacher, fixing a that's, I don't know, visitors, people who visit. That's what it says, visit. So what is the definition of a visitor? It's not just a parent or a legal guardian, or is it? Because if that's the fact, then we are limited. I just want to,
Okay. Why don't you make a motion to get this?
I would like to have a motion
Okay, go ahead.
to have the attorney to not just explain it to the board, but just explain it to the community, our stakeholders, our people who voted for us, to understand what the policy is as far as the Michigan codes. Because yes, we can adopt our policies. I read the bylaws. Like I said, I've taken a lot of time on this, I promise you. And even this is incorrect. That's why as a certified board member, an attorney doesn't just send us this. They have to have an attached to what it was and what changes that they want us to vote on. That's why I didn't understand what that was in the first place. So my motion is to please have the attorneys come, just to explain, and that way, you know, our community can be at ease.
Okay, to have them come.
To have them come and explain why, what, in the Michigan, the school codes, where in the school codes does it specify that we can do background checks on visitors? And for it, if it is so, then can he also explain, or then we, you know, make the policy? Because I thought we make policies to our.
That is our main function. Let me answer before we go to the motion, right?
Okay.
That is our main function, right? But when you see the final sentence, the superintendent may promulgate administrative regulations to enforce this policy. That's a catch-all phrase that allows the superintendent to do that. Now, if you don't like that, you can ask for that to be removed, but that is what allows the superintendent carte blanche to manage this policy as he sees fit.
Where did this come from? That's
That's
something.
already in there,
And where?
in the policy.
In our current policy.
That's been in that policy.
Well, visitors. Oh,
So you,
Sorry,
like,
I'm
you
not
could
gonna say
easily
this.
say, I don't want that language in there. You could ask for it to be removed, you know, then we'd have to vote on that.
Well, then if that is the case, then that will become prejudice, because I know that it would be up to the superintendent to enforce this policy. That
Is
is
it-
what that is reading, correct?
Not only to enforce the policy, it's his
But
job to enforce all the policies. This one allows him to have the ability to set rules that he needs to adhere to the policy that we set.
Right, but isn't there more to this than just the sentence?
No.
It's just that sentence.
That's a pretty broad statement.
Oh, yes, I see it at the bottom here.
Yep.
So then if that's the case again, because I've known that there had been visitors that had not been background checked, and that some have been background checked. So yes, I would like to amend that on another motion,
Okay, so
because of the bylaws.
so let's start here. What motion would you like to make first?
First, I would like to have the attorneys come to address the board in regards to explaining the codes versus how we're gonna change this policy, because it sounds like
So
this
the-
policy is gonna be a
We
change.
want the attorneys to come to explain the visitors policy
No, yep,
and the volunteers policy, or just the visitors policy?
just the visitors
The
policy.
visitors policy.
Because hold on, because I don't see the whole policy. You okay?
Continue, please. Let's go.
Okay, sure thing. I'm just making sure that, okay, so for visitors, I don't see that statement for the superintendent. Under our bylaws, under volunteers, I don't see that statement.
All right, stand by, give me a second.
I'd just like to make sure that we govern this board accordingly, not just, you know, willy-nilly. Because this is our future, this has an impact on our students' achievement for sure. Because they need to be active and involved.
All right, so there is a motion on the floor. While I look for this, there is a motion on the floor to have the attorney come and provide clarification on policy 6012 visitors. Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
You made the motion.
Oh, sorry.
You
You
can't
made
say
the motion. I'm
that.
sorry, my bad.
Is there a second on the motion?
I'm second.
Okay, trustee Tyler seconded the motion. The motion made by trustee Corcoran. Any question on that motion? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Madison?
No.
Perriman Kane?
No.
Tyler?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Alvin?
No.
And Clark?
No.
Okay, that motion fails. All right, now I'm on 6012 visitors, and I see that line. The superintendent may promulgate
I'm sorry,
administrative
point of
regulations.
order. Why are we voting for a lawyer to come that we pay for? I thought,
Because you made a motion.
Well, that's only because you said to make the motion.
You didn't have to, but
Well, I don't want to, I bring back that motion. I take back that motion because.
it's already
we
passed, so
don't-
you can't take
We
it
don't
back.
need, I can table the motion.
It's off the floor.
Okay.
It's already been decided
So
upon.
you played the, okay, all right.
All right.
And I said that in the beginning, why are we making a motion for the lawyers to come when we already pay them? I said that, and then you said, well, you gotta put a motion on
I
the
didn't
floor.
say you have to do anything. The superintendent may promulgate administrative regulations to enforce this policy. That's already in there. Now, do you wish to make another motion?
Yes, I would like to make another motion.
Okay.
The motion is to ask the lawyers about no. I would like to amend, because this will be amending the policy. But we can't amend the policy until the correction that the lawyers, whatever this is, I don't even know, this is so
So
confusing.
what I will do to make life easier is make sure we
Really?
have the current version of what it is spelled out for you.
Because you can't,
And we will then have a red line version. Now, would you like that line stricken from the policy?
you can't even do it until this you can't do it that way. You just can't. This policy, first, it has to be changed. It has to be changed. Meaning, it's a correct way, I'm sorry. First, they need to send us the old policy. Have you ever seen where
I
we've
said
made
that,
policy
I
changes?
just said we will make sure that you get the old
Okay.
policy. I agree with you.
Not just me, but that's just
We
the
will make
way it
sure the
goes.
whole
Okay.
board gets it.
So I would like for this to be properly changed.
Okay, all right. Anything else? I agree with you. We'll take care of
That's
that.
it for right now.
Okay, all
I'll
right.
have it,
So
I'll
let's
have
add that.
both of them
I
attached,
didn't even get a motion on
the modified one along with the current vesting.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay. We will now go to information item 8B, Oak Park Schools Emergency Operation Plan Presentation.
Oh, nobody's here.
You need all that? Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Derek Falk, and I am the Director for the Office of Culture and Climate here in Oak Park School District. And next to me, I have,
Tiffany Cavill, Director of Operations.
thank you very much. Okay, we have passed out some cards for making sure that we stay on task and on time. So please write your questions down, and we will get back with you. The questions will go to Mr. Abdullah first, and then the team will work together to answer your questions.
So at this time, we're going to turn it over to Cal Myers with IMT. Cal has been working with the Emergency Operation Planning Team on updating the district's EOP. Cal?
Do you want to wait? No, you could go ahead. Right? Are you opposed?
I just want to make sure, because it's for the board, can you just give me
Yeah, yeah.
10 seconds? Let me just see where everyone went.
You're not going.
Just give them like 10 seconds. Yep. Yep. Just went to the restroom.
Well, let's probably not vote on that. Let's go. Correct.
My apologies, sir.
It's fine.
My sincerest apologies.
Hi, I'm Cal Myers. I'm a critical incident and emergency operations specialist with IMT, and I'm part of the Oak Park Schools emergency operations team. I'm going to review the process and the status of updating and adopting your emergency operations plan. It's a multi-step process. The school board, the superintendent, and the principals all have an important role under the plan. The Board of Education will adopt the plan, but prior to doing so, there are some very important steps involved. The first step was the superintendent's formation of the emergency operations update and the planning team. The team commenced a comprehensive review of and update of the current plan, and the superintendent is an integral part of the team. We're now ready to begin distributing the plan for coordination and collaboration in accordance with federal and state regulations and best practices. We then incorporate all of the information and the feedback we receive into the plan, and we will present a comprehensive plan to you for adoption. And this is planned for your June meeting. There's a lot of planning and coordination that has brought us to this point. We have a video here that's supposed to be playing. Just go right to it. You can use the back of the screen. Well, we had a video presented here. It looks like the video is not going to play. We're just going to kind of go through this.
7 minutes.
The story of a safer school, it begins with a plan, right? Michigan law requires that all school districts have an emergency operations plan. It has to be in place and updated regularly. Your school's EOP must have guidelines and procedures in place for school violence and attacks or threats of violence, bomb threats or threats to school-sponsored events, fires, weather emergencies, intruders, and building-related issues, such as power outage and water main breaks. The guidelines must also include plans for reuniting parents and students and training teachers on mental health and improving building security, and more. The all-hazard approach ensures that all school personnel are prepared to handle a full spectrum of crises, including internal and man-made emergencies, as well as natural disasters. If you're in the room, you're part of the plan. Advance. One more. We'll let this catch up. Okay. Advance one. So we started with the collaborative planning team, and we use the core principles of EOP development. We utilize state and federal best practices, including the recommendations of the Michigan State Police Office of School Safety. to systematically update your EOP. But what do we mean by systematically? We did a comprehensive review and assessment of the current EOP and all of your district's policies and procedures, and we're bringing everything into alignment. It includes stakeholder collaboration, which is what we're doing now, and it includes integrating this information into the final revision. It will then include adoption by the board and training to all stakeholders. A systematic review also means that the EOP must be feasible, it must be accessible, and it must be acceptable and actionable. But what does that mean? It means that it has to be specific for Oak Park schools, for things that can happen here, and it has to be adaptable, and it has to be easily implemented with the resources that you have. This means that we have to create a comprehensive plan that prioritizes safety while fostering a supportive and inclusive educational environment that addresses the special needs of everyone in our educational community with an emphasis on transparency and open communication. Our plan addresses how to prevent and respond to a wide spectrum of threats and hazards. We did this by a process called vulnerability and risk assessment, which has numerous steps. This is what ties everything together. You've heard of lockdown, evacuate, and shelter, but we go much farther than that. We have a plan for responding to threats, roles and responsibilities, prevention and mitigation, evacuation and shelter, recovery, communication and emergency notifications, training, and so much more. Because the purpose of the plan is so important. We want to intervene before a situation or a person becomes a threat. And we do this by use of threat assessment. Your EOP has a very robust threat assessment protocol, which includes both threat assessment and behavioral threat assessment. Threat assessment is looking at the entirety of the situation. Behavioral threat assessment is looking at the individual and finding out if they pose a threat based on their behavior, their intentions, and the circumstances. Both are an integral part of threat assessment. We want a plan where everyone knows what to do, where to go, and why. And where everyone has an important role, from the Board of Education to the superintendent, the principal, office staff, teachers and instructional assistants, counselors and mental health professionals, healthcare professionals, custodians and maintenance personnel, food service, transportation, and volunteers, and everyone with a role in Oak Park schools, including students and parents and caregivers. The structure will allow all stakeholders to know the plan because safety is everyone's responsibility. It's broken down into core sections, which will be available electronically. This allows everyone to have instant access to the most up-to-date information. It's the superseding safety policy for Oak Park schools. It outlines the roles, the responsibilities, and the expectations of all stakeholders in the district. And once adopted, we won't stop there. We will continually improve, and that means that we will train and practice and review and refine. I want to take a moment to recognize the dedication of the core members of our Emergency Operations Plan team. Despite already carrying out significant responsibilities in their daily roles, these individuals went above and beyond. They've devoted over 400 hours across more than a year, including weeks of intensive training. You see the picture there of some of our training. Their commitment and their perseverance and leadership have been instrumental in getting us to the critical point that we are now. I'd also like to thank everyone here on the board for making that happen. This is accomplishment. This is a very good accomplishment. You should be very proud of it. It's a direct reflection of your extraordinary commitment to the safety and preparedness of Oak Park schools. I'd like to thank Superintendent Angel Abdullahad, Tiffany Cavell, Director of Operations. Let's see where Derek is. Derek Folk, Director of Culture and Climate and Principal of Nova Academy. Zanetta McCaddy, School Safety and Support Coordinator, and she's the one that's helping me with this presentation today. And I'm going to hand this over to them at this point.
Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. Board, please, if you have any questions, please write them down and pass those over to Mr. Abdullahad so that we can answer your questions as a team. This is a big undertaking, and we have spent a lot of time, and please, just write the questions down. Thank you. Thank you.
Are there any questions from members of the board? Okay. Hearing none. All right, thank you for that presentation. Superintendent Abdullahad, I'll follow up with you on my stuff. We have item number 9, communications. Any communications from members of the administration? From members of the board? Trustee Corcoran, I'll go.
Mr. President, I would like to request the administration guidelines.
I'm sorry?
The administration guidelines.
What administration guidelines?
The ones that the superintendent made. Promulgates administrative regulations, so those regulations are posted, correct? I mean,
They
they're
don't have to be posted.
not posted, but you have them.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Those guidelines, I would like to see those.
Anything else, Trustee?
Oh, yeah, actually, there is something else. I didn't want to do this, but I had the opportunity of going to Mackinac Island over the weekend, and the attendance of the MASB summer workshop, and it has great, and it was great hearing from school board members from all over Michigan. There was a strong turnout, and it was helpful to see how other boards are handling similar challenges that this board has. I brought back some useful material that I gave to Ms. Greer to pass around or distribute it to the board, and hopefully that'll be a benefit to our board. That's it.
Thank you very much. Trustee Clark?
Mine will be brief. I just, since they already left, I guess I'll tell them later, but I want to thank OPYA for coming. I know that they had a lot of information, and I'm glad they were able to pass that along. As they mentioned, I am spearheading the Youth Recognition Committee, which I am calling the Ripple Effect Mission. It's not ready yet. I still have to meet on Zoom with a few members that have decided to help me, but all I can say is that for the teachers in this district, please be on the lookout. You will be getting some information, and we will be planning a very big event that I'm very passionate about and I am very proud of. And I also, I'm a little ahead of myself, but I just wanted to offer my congratulations to everyone in this district, be it if you're moving from elementary to middle, middle to high, moving forward. It's a great accomplishment to get to this point. Even our professionals, if they've gone to further their education and are graduating in this season, I just wanted to offer my congratulations and praise. It's very hard work to get to that point, and I hope that you are proud of yourself and you continue to do whatever your future dictates. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Anything else from members of the board? Trustee Tyler?
Good evening, everyone, again. Just a couple of things. I attended, I think from last week, I went to so many events in Oak Park. Oh my God. But one, I really had a joy of.
Yes, you did.
A whole lot. You shall see, Tyler. I went over to Lessinger this past week to the Mother's Day tea, and it was just amazing. It was truly amazing. Thank you to Ms. Noor and so definitely had a great time. There was so many kids, boy. There was so many Oak Park former kids. I was trying to run out there. I'm like, okay, you got kids? I'm glad I'm gone. And so it was just a great time to see a lot of the Oak Park students and the children in Oak Park. And just, then I went over to the high school several times, had an event with the National Honor Society, and then the spring concert was just so phenomenal. That spring concert was so phenomenal. As well as stopped by a soccer game. The soccer game was fun, watching the kids. I only had, my concern there was no security there. There was no security there on that particular day, and we had an incident where the referee had to stop the game. And so, that's one of my concerns, there, with that particular situation. But Mr. Carter came out and just took care of it, so they had to stop. Then I would stop by the track meet, the track, man, it was so many cars out in Oak Park, they had to park miles away just to get here. And so, that was great, phenomenal turnout as well. Did not see any security there. Didn't see not one security officer there. And so, if anyone knows me, I say it all the time, security is my passion, because we have to make sure our kids are safe all the time. And so, as well as that incident that we had the other day at OPA, I just wanted to just make sure that we haven't training on top of training, to where that could have been just a tragedy that we don't want. So we just make sure that our security is always being trained on a constant basis. And so I'm excited, and just want to see in the upcoming communication, what are we doing for recruitment for our school district, because Ms. North had over, man, it was so many kids there, but I think it would have been a great opportunity for our elementary school principals to be there, just to, say hi to the kids. And I'm just sad that I'm not gonna be able to be at the Father's Day thing that she gonna have coming up.
That's for us. That's for us. Okay, thank you very much. Hey, can we have something?
Right, as well as I've been attending the basketball games on Thursdays and Saturdays, and just a great turnout in parents. And so I just would like, for us to, continue to just do those community things throughout the week, where we're able to, capitalize on our school, for people are seeing what we have going on. And so that's just a great thing where, lots of parents at our school from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3. And so that's a great thing. And I think Saturday is our last one coming up, and so I'll be there as well. So I'm just excited, as well as just a couple things, just making sure that we are together for these kids and their safety.
Thank you, Trustee Tyler. Anything else from members of the board? Trustee Madison.
Excuse me. Okay. I have a few questions about the event that they put on. What was it called? Smash?
So you can let him know what your questions are. You can't do that and like go into the answers now. But if you have questions, go ahead. You can ask.
Okay. My questions were: one, was this group, was this a Smash and Oak Park District event?
Keep going.
And two, I was wondering if they had to pay for the venue space. I would probably need the answers to that to go on.
Was it a collaboration, and what was the other one?
And did they pay for the event space? And it just seems like at this point it's more of an alumni issue. Like maybe they just don't want to be the ones to get background check, because I don't really see what the issue would be, especially if this might be how many events has it been? At least 2. So if we already know that they have to get background check, why are we waiting till the last minute to do those things?
So those are questions that you can ask them to come back and give them a response to, okay?
Yep, that was my thing about that, and yeah, that was it.
Okay. Thank you. Trustee, do you have something?
Yeah,
Okay. Trustee Corcoran?
Vice President had reminded me to ask this question. Our career fair, has it been scheduled?
Did we schedule a career fair?
Well,
Or
to
who's
be
in
fair,
charge of
I'm just writing down all the questions to be
Dude,
fair
I don't
to
know if we know,
everyone.
so I mean.
And then I will get all
Oh,
the.
wait, I'm sorry, this communication problem.
It is, but I was indulging
It's
you.
okay, it's
So,
all right. I'll abstain from my
So
question.
no, they'll give you an answer.
Thank you.
Okay.
I
so-
know you could just cross.
No, like he'll either send it or he'll communicate the answer. All right, is there anything else from members of the board? Come on.
Well, no, she says she attends so many things, and like a lot of things she's saying, I don't know, so I'm like, how do I No.
Are we missing something on,
I don't
and I guess it's
like
a
the-
fair point
I work,
about
so I
getting the
can't do
information out. I don't know
anything
how it's
before
gonna go.
3 o'clock anyway.
I'm sorry,
I
I
mean,
missed
we-
the question.
So my point is, what Trustee Permentaine is saying is that Trustee Tyler is attending so many events, and she clearly knows about them to attend them, and Trustee Permentaine is saying she doesn't know. So if there's a way that we can include the board on these sort of events, that if we're not currently doing it,
We
then-
can find them online or whatnot. That's,
Well, online and relationship with teachers,
Okay.
relationship with the parents and community.
Okay.
That's how literally, I have a lot of family members literally in all the schools, literally.
so if there's a way to communicate to the board more information about events, then that would be helpful.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else from members of the board? Hearing none, the time is now 8:12. Without objection, we'll pass the motion to adjourn the meeting. What's the next meeting? I'm sorry.
The next meeting of the Board of Education will be held Monday, June 9th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the boardroom at the administration building.
Okay. Time is 8:12. Without objection, we'll pass the motion to adjourn the meeting by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, we're hereby adjourned at 8:12. Thank you.